This time I want to talk to you about the city of Famagusta in 1571. It sounds a little dry, but trust me. Let's get started. In the 14th century, Famagusta was described as one of the largest, wealthiest, and most prosperous cities in the entire Mediterranean. By 1787, there were fewer than 100 Ottomans and no more than 3 Greek families living in the city of Famagusta. It was rubble. So what happened? It concerns the Ottoman siege of Famagusta in 1571. The Ottomans had 250,000 men, 1,500 cannons, and 800 ships to seal off the city. The garrison in Famagusta, only 6,000 men, and they held on for 11 months. But when you look at Famagusta, you look at the size of the walls, it's a wonder anybody could ever take that city at all. So what happened? Now, if you're interested in the story of the battle itself, just search on YouTube, Famagusta 1571. There's a couple of good videos there, and I'm not going to bore you by rehashing all of that. I'm more interested in how this could happen. What happened? You've got 2 huge, powerful nation states, the Ottoman Empire and the Venetian Empire, both competing for dominance in this end of the sea. So how is it that the Ottomans were able to take Famagusta away from Venice? Famagusta is a big, well-defended city. What's going on? I'll tell you. They didn't have enough people anymore on the whole island. There were waves of plague. About every 5, maybe as long as 10 years between these waves. For example, in 1494, plague was raging in Nicosia during the summer. In 1505, 1/4 of all the inhabitants in Carinthia died. So the population of the island, because of the plague, was going down, and eventually the Venetians realized they were going to actually have to repopulate the island in order to keep it going as an ongoing trade hub, and it grew a lot of food. As a matter of fact, Cyprus was the supply point for the Crusades, which had taken place much earlier. But nevertheless, very important island that had been depopulated by the plague and by malaria. Geologically speaking, Cyprus was a volcanic island. And so you have these high mountainous spires, no volcanoes, and it goes into long, low, flat plains. So the streams that feed this land, like this stream here, wind up being very flat, and the areas around the streams can be marshy. This, of course, would be a mosquito breeding ground. And that's exactly what happened. The mosquitoes, of course, were swarms, clouds of them back at that time. And being a trading hub, pretty soon somebody came over carrying malaria. You can guess what happened. Malaria went rampant across the island.
If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button.
In 1494, Canon Pietro Castola, who was from Italy, toured the, and I want to quote here, toured the extensive ruins of Limassol. And he found the place virtually empty. The very few people who lived there looked sick. He described the air as bad. So the entire island had gone really south by this point. And because of that, the Ottomans were successfully able to take it. It really didn't start to make a comeback until the British came along sometime later. That's going to do it for this time, guys. If you found any of this interesting, I hope you'll visit us at our website, www.cyprusbeach.house. I'll see you again soon.